there was an image that popped up of rugby being played in New Zealand. This comes, of course, right after my Dodgers, go Blue, just won the World Series after this since 1988, this many years, and I'm sure everyone saw. But as things went down, there was sparse crowds in the stadium in Washington when they played the World Series. But at this rugby match in New Zealand, we got tens of thousands of fans there, Rick, what happened, man?
Why do you keep calling me Rich?
Because I want to call you Richard.
You were going to be a groomsman in my wedding. I've known you for like 10 years, and all of a sudden we don't talk because of coronavirus, and you're suddenly calling me Rich, which, by the way, I am not.
I feel like you've grown up. I feel like you've grown up right in front of us, man. You're doing things big. I'm like, it's been too long since we've done a show together. So it's either Richard or Rick.
I'm so big that you can't get my name accurately. It's quite alarming. No, look, man, I was, when I saw this photo, I was pissed. I was mad because it shows what competent people can do and accomplish for societies when they trust science and they don't politicize science and they don't politicize mask usage, and they say, hey, this thing is real. How about we nip it in the bud for a few months just so you guys can go, live your lives as sports fans. It's sort of like that meme where it's like, this could have been us. Yeah. It's like, yeah, it could have, but we just put a Nazi in the White House. So like you expect him to be like, yo, climate change, let's get to it. So yeah, it made me really mad. But also what made me mad as just a moral person is when the Chiefs hosted the Texans opening night of the NFL season, and they allowed fans, and they're still allowing fans. But guess what? In one section, one person had coronavirus, which meant that those around him or her had to be tested, and they probably got coronavirus. Yep. So I thought it was really dumb of all these sports leagues to be like, hey, if we can make $200,000 or $500,000 for one game, we're just gonna take the money, which really shows you everything.
It's exactly.
But this is, it's a perfect example of why actually real contact tracing, actual testing, and yeah, maybe some shutdowns, and the media has been playing this game of, doesn't shutting down hurt the economy? No, you stupid idiot, oh my God. Like, you are so willfully ignorant, not just the Republican Party, but some in the media are like, you want total lockdowns, or it doesn't Biden want a lockdown, and then Biden's like, no, I don't want a lockdown. It's like, actually stopping things for a bit allows us later on to be able to open up. I'm a stand-up comic. I've been doing Zoom shows, y'all. Do you realize how sad this is for my craft? Artists and musicians, everyone's getting hammered by this, and then Jacinda Ardern comes around and just makes everything better. And why can't we have Jacinda as our president today?
Doesn't it look like, I look at that picture and I'm like, we're living in alternate universes, right? Where we in America it's spreading uncontrolled, and they still don't want to do anything about it. And at first when I heard about this photo, I was like, they have to be out of their minds. Yeah. Why are they not wearing any masks? But then I read the headline, it's because they don't have to, because they did what they had to do to prevent the spread, uncontrolled spread. So the fact that we're just that feckless in this country really just points out to me how much I need to get out of this country if Donald Trump gets reelected.
Yes.
But let me just rebuke one thing that Ben said, which was on the end. RIP to him. And also the Larry Wilmore show, which was awesome. When Mac Miller was on there, he's like, if Trump gets elected, I'm staying right the F here. I'm gonna battle you every single day. I'm gonna call out how much you suck every single day. Yeah. I'm gonna try to make positive change. So I have thought about it, because I have called Canadian friends. But then I'm like, you know what?
Not Canada.
Not this guy.
Come on, not Canada. Are you kidding me?
Well, I could still do all that from New Zealand via the internet. So I would still give Donald Trump hell. But I would like to be able to go to the grocery store without putting on a hazmat suit sometime in the near future.
Well, and honestly, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna mention, did y'all know that Wuhan, China had an outdoor EDM festival, okay? In a water park. They're just trolling us. They created a literal wet market EDM festival because they knew how racist we were talking about their wet markets, and then just trolled the whole world. Like, we got this under control. Do. So let's.
Right, and
it's not just New Zealand.
And honestly,
meanwhile, you have 700 people who died because they went to a Donald Trump rally. Like,
exactly.
this is
right. So this is the thing.
Zone.
We've got the fact that we're looking at sporting events, concerts that happen in other countries, and that's the thing that we could be wishing for, instead of wishing that 200 and what, we're up to 237K now of deaths in this country, plus deaths in this country. That's not motivating factors enough. Our motivating factors have to be, man, I've been a Dodger fan for all this time, and I didn't get a chance to be there. That's the motivation factor, but even that isn't enough. But maybe if they flash a couple pictures of other countries enjoying extracurricular activities from people who are still alive, then we have to go how many steps lower for that to be a motivating factor? But by the way, it isn't yet. But it has to be a motivating factor to make us say, that could be us. And honestly, again, Francesca, when you're talking about the potential lockdowns and people being afraid to say, yeah, we need to do that because that would be good for our economy, would be good for people's jobs in the near future. We've now gone this entire year, let's keep it real, not doing that fully, doing it in spots here and there, and then those people being criticized for it. If we'd done it early, you could have the recovery later. Now that it's been this long and everyone's hurting so badly, doing it this late hurts even more because we waited so long. And now people are hurting, and on top of that, whatever pain would have been in, say, a few months worth of lockdowns is gonna be exponentially laid upon everyone's heads. So it's even harder.
I disagree with Jayar. Virtually nobody gets this, so I don't know what you're fetching about. Haven't you heard? Nobody gets this.
Yeah, and then once you've had it,
but like keep this in perspective. Like, NBA teams had to go into the Disney bubble. They had to go and be on an isolated campus. And when Ben McLemore of the Houston Rockets ordered DoorDash, he then had to isolate for another week.
Yeah.
That was the extreme nature of how sports had to operate.
Did they put him in the Peter Pan ride? Because I would have ordered DoorDash just to be put in the Peter Pan ride over and over again. I hope that that's what happened. And if it didn't, that's wrong.
I have a question for Francesca. Do you think it helped your craft a little more knowing that you weren't you weren't in front of an audience and getting like the natural clap in the room audience reaction?
Did it help my craft? Oh yeah, I'm very comfortable with silence now. So, whereas before, when my joke wouldn't land, it would make me uncomfortable. Now I'm like, crushing it. Crushing it.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, Jayar. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.